I'm Ava Voss, and I'm here to interview Angela Gorall today, Assistant City Administrator. All right, I have some questions to ask you. My first question for you is, what qualifications did you seek to be in a position to take on this leadership role?
Really two parts for it. So education, needing the necessary degrees, and then just varying experience. So my first job was really working for my local parks department in my small town in Minnesota, and then just going from there from one job to the next and internships to get me prepared for the job I have today.
What kind of schooling was required for this position?
So it's required to have a bachelor's degree, but it's somewhat expected to be an administrator or an assistant city administrator to have a master's degree. So I have a master's degree in public administration.
Who were your previous role models or who mentored you?
Well, I've been really fortunate through the years to have a lot of great role models and mentors. So first, I'd say through sports. I was always really involved in sports. I played volleyball up into the college level. And so I really had some great coaches that really has carried forward to how I work today. But secondly, I think it's back to when I worked in Wisconsin. I had a female administrator that worked in the Green Bay area that really mentored me and let me be an intern for her for a while. And then she just really coached me through my first real job and was just a great resource and mentor through that whole experience.
What does a typical day at work look like for you?
Well, the one thing I really like about my job is it's not very typical. It really changes. I mean, the issues, the problems, the projects, the policy issues, they really can change literally day to day sometimes. Spend a good amount of time in meetings, but that's really, where a lot of work gets done. We collaborate, we get to work with other employees in the city, which is really great.
How do you stay organized?
Well, anybody that works with me knows that I love my lists. So electronic, color-coded, everything that I got to work on, the team's working on. I really value being well organized and planned. So that's how you maintain, the work-life balance. I just think it's a really important part of my role as well, of trying to always making sure I'm leaving the city better than I found it for my little role. And that means, really using my time well.
Can you describe a successful project that you were involved in and the impact it had on our community?
Well, I was fortunate to be part of a team here at Woodbury to look at a funding problem that we had. So we have wonderful parks and trails in Woodbury that we're also proud of, that our citizens really care about. But unfortunately, we didn't have a long-term sustainable plan of how to pay for replacing those as they aged and got old. So we knew there was a problem that needed to be solved. So we brought together a team of resources, of staff. We used 2 citizen volunteer committees to help us as well. Came up with a plan. Council approved that plan and signed off on it. And we're a couple years into that plan now and really seeing the fruits of those efforts, which is really cool. I live in the community, so to walk my dogs and see kids playing on a new playground feels pretty cool.
What kind of struggles or challenges or maybe even criticism, if you've had any, have you experienced in this role?
I've had some, yes, definitely. I've been in various forms of government for about 20 years now, so it just kind of comes with the territory. Anything from just challenging experiences just at the local level with challenging policy issue or problem in the community. It just kind of have to have thick skin a little bit and just lean back on your professional relationships, your mentors, your things to seek advice. The good thing about government is it's all public information and we all, are good resources to each other whatever you're probably dealing with is not probably the first time a city has dealt with it. So you could ask someone for help.
What are your hobbies and how do you balance life and work?
Well, my favorite hobby currently, I've been doing it for a couple of years, is kayak fishing. So I just love being on the water and kind of the solitude of that, and just kind of teaching myself new things it's just so different from what I currently do in an office. So to get out there, and so I didn't know much more than, worm and bobber when I first started. And now I'm pretty proud of all the techniques, and I'd be embarrassed to say how much money I've spent on fishing equipment and tackle, but it's all fun. And it really gets me out there to do something different and fun.
What's the greatest piece of advice you could give to young women?
I thought back to my mentor, my first one, and really her best piece of advice was, you're never going to be 100% qualified for probably anything. And I really think that's just so true. One of the jobs I wanted to apply for, I was just like, I'm just not qualified enough for this. I'm not going to do it. And she, in a very gentle way, stern way, said I was not being the smartest person thinking that way. So I went for it. I got the job. It was a great job. Learned a ton from it. And I probably did only know about 30% of the actual job when I applied for it. But I had enough skill. I had a mentor. I had other people I could rely on to do the job well. And it ended up being a great position for me. Tell me what leadership looks like for you.
I feel like I play a big leadership role in sports or at school. Like when I'm working in big projects, I always feel like I'm contributing with my ideas and as a teammate in sports. And
what sports are you into?
I play tennis and I used to play track or do track.
Okay. I used to do track too, not well. But.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you want to be in a leadership position when you advance in your career, when you grow up?
Yeah, I'm interested in doing stuff with law, and maybe, I don't know, I'm going into business and maybe minoring in economics and maybe going to law school in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.